No,
this is the original esport racing game.
He's relatively even used to the way that he's going to be running things, which is in a good way, of course.
He's unlike many of the other promoters.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome, race fans, on a Saturday night back to Primetime Racing TV for some more of the Synergy Dirt Racing Series. It is round 10. It is the season finale, and we are at the sprint car capital of the world. We are in Knoxville, Iowa, home of the Knoxville Raceway, for the 305 dirt sprint cars to be headed around here for a night of action and a night where we will be crowning a champion. Of course, bringing you the calls here tonight is myself, Corey Silva, manning the cameras and in the booth, and of course, Brandon Krutz, my dirt specialist, as I like to call him, with me here today to bring everybody at home the action, Brandon. So it's been a full season of these guys. We've been with them for about 9 of the 10 weeks of their season. We've come and seen everything, and here we are down to the season finale.
Yeah, the season finale at the home of sprint car racing, Knoxville Raceway, and well, looks like it's nice weather out there, Corey, and these guys ready to go racing here tonight.
Yeah, speaking of the weather, it is about 70 degrees in the air, 70 on the track, negligible winds, and just looks like I think the sun may set on us, or we may be ending right at the cusp of daylight here at Knoxville, but a lot of challenges that come along with this racetrack. And one thing you will notice as fans watching the broadcast is there are slight variations to our graphics package. We've done a lot of work behind the scenes to try to simplify things, so if there are any issues, we will try to take care of them, but I think everything should be good. Hope you do enjoy it, and that is the end of the qualifying session. So these guys are going to start up and get ready on the grid for heat race number 1. So let's give that to you right now. Heat race number 1, these guys are on the grid for it, and let's show you who it is going to be where. Leading them down for heat race number 1 is going to be Rick Gibson with Rick Schneider in 2nd, Casey Pruitt in 3rd, Michael Rodriguez in 4th, Frank Hartley Jr. in 5th, Cody Ricketson 6th, Bradley Capione in 7th, Lyle Christensen, Bruce Wiles, and Cameron Hannigan 10th in heat race number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, heat race number 1 lined up behind the pace car on grid, ready to get going here for the first time of the night. It's going to be a sprint car racing from the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville Raceway. These guys getting ready to go underway here tonight, and well, Corey, as you said, a little bit of sunset racing action here tonight, and I feel like the light's probably going to come on here, but probably not going to get too dark outside, so that will play a little bit of an effect on the racing surface, probably dry out just a little bit quicker for these guys, and, you know, as long as the sun's shining down there and not blocked by any buildings or anything, and maybe a little bit dust out there.
Yeah, we'll see how that does play out, but Brandon, we've talked all season about how these cars race. Obviously, we don't have the horsepower of the 360s and the 410s, so it does change the racing. Now here at Knoxville, a big half mile, and of course the defining features here being that humongous wall on the outside of the track and the berm to the inside. So how will that affect the racing in these vehicles here tonight?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to end up being mostly a low-line racetrack here. If you can make that low side work, I think you're good to go, but I do think we'll see some guys probably wander up to the middle lane at most so far. That's what I expect here tonight at Knoxville. Typically a low-lane racetrack for the lower-powered vehicles.
All right, so we will keep that in mind as we watch tonight's action, and again, getting ready for heat race number 1 here tonight, and we'll see what happens. Rick Gibson in the 38 is leading them down. Rick Schneider is on the outside of the front row. 10 cars in this heat race. Pace truck is already in, and that's the green flag. We're racing here at Knoxville.
Heading down into corner number 1 now. That 38 machine, Rick Gibson, dives way down to the bottom of the racetrack. That leaves the 3 machine up high and dry, and these guys going to battle it out down into corner number 3 through 4 now. These guys going to maybe get single file. Hear those sprint cars roar for to complete lap number 1.
And as you said, Brandon, right around the bottom of the track, right on that berm, which at Knoxville, I know in my experience, that berm is very easy to hit, especially when you're trying to hug it. There's a lot of moisture right down there, but you can't get up on it. That car will get very upset, and you can see Gibson getting a slight better run off corner number 4, starting to pull away. Single file all throughout this field. Looks like the 17 maybe trying to make a move on Hartley.
Yeah, a little bit of racing action going on back here, and Maybe a little bit of a dive to the inside of Hartley now, going down at corner number 1.
17 loose. Michael Rodriguez. Michael Rodriguez up on his roof off of 2. Spins around, and he will go right back to the pits, and he will be headed to the consolation race. But that pretty much removes the battle that we had. It does look like Bradley Capion of the 71. He is in close quarters to Hartley. That will be the next closest position on the racetrack right now for that 4th spot. And look at Hartley wash up wide off of 4. Capion with the tighter line gains a little bit more time as we have 5 to go. Rick Gibson just putting on the clinic up front. He's up by about half a second or so on Schneider, and I'll tell you the top 2 guys basically running identical lap times at this point, a 17:68 to a 17:35, so Schneider just a skosh faster, not enough to really dig into the deficit, as again this heat is spreading out. And Brandon, I know we've been wrong a couple times in this, so let's just clarify, how many are transferring out of these races?
4 cars set to transfer out of heat race number 1 and 2, and that's the most amount of heat races we'll run tonight. 2 heats as these guys coming across to the start finish.
Yep, that puts 2 laps to go on the board, and already down the back straightaway, headed into 3 to take what will be the white flag. Everyone pretty much is set in their finishing order, barring any kind of last lap incident, which I really don't see happening. So that is the white flag in the air for heat race number 1. Gibson will just safely navigate another quarter of a mile around the speedway from this juncture on. He'll head right down to the bottom of the racetrack in 3, head off of 4 safely, and that is going to be Rick Gibson winning heat race number 1.
38 machine winning heat race number 1. Second's going to be Rick Snyder. Casey Pruitt going to be finishing in that 3rd position. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your top 3. 4th car transferring going to be Frank Hartley Jr.
All right, so these guys will get themselves settled in and pull in, and they will get off of the track and allow heat race number 2 to begin, though that shall happen in just a matter of moments. And there it is. So let's give you the lineup for heat race number 2 here tonight. It is going to be Eric Tupper, a multiple-time winner this season, leading it down. Brett Rolls, another top name, up there as well. Keith Melheiser in 3rd, Devin Boots in 4th, Roddy Klein in 5th, and Waylon McConnell, who we will talk about in a second, in 6th. Cody McKnight, Michael Kerr, Benjamin Gonzalez, and Chris Miller. And, well, as I said, we got to talk about Waylon McConnell. The reason we need to talk about Waylon McConnell is the point standings, Brandon. We haven't gotten too in-depth with them, but being the season finale, there's things we gotta know.
Yeah, there is a couple of things that we gotta know. Right now, going into tonight, he is your point leader. And so as long he finishes, I believe it's 15th or better in the feature event, he will come out of tonight as your champion.
Yep, so the most important thing for him is to make it into the feature, because that will, if he essentially makes it to the feature, he's absolutely guaranteed that 15th starting position. But we do know a lot of calamity has come in these races with all the hard racing, so you can never write anything down in ink till that checkered flag waves, but he has to be feeling pretty comfortable and taking home that Synergy Dirt Racing Series championship.
Absolutely, Corey. So these guys going to be getting the white flag at the stand, 1 lap to the green flag. This time by stacked up, doubled up heat race number 2. Going to be ready to get underway this time by at Knoxville.
Yes, it is, and we saw right around the white line. Well, you could tell how much of an asphalt guy I am. Right against the inside berm, which, I mean, if you were on an asphalt track, would be the white line, as these guys right on the bottom of the racetrack, and some wear has gone into the track. You can see the blue groove starting to go into effect, which will transition into the dark blackened surface that happens once this track is really dried out. So we'll see if these guys do have to shift their lines around at all as the night continues, but we'll figure that out in 10 laps as heat race number 2 on the board.
Green flag is in the air. These guys drive it down into corner number 1. Now out of corner number 2. Here comes that 6 machine on the outside. Eric Tupper gonna try to dive it back in. Now heading down through corners 3 and 4. That's gonna be the 6 machine on the outside. New leader, Brett Rolls.
Brett Rolls on that outside line. You can see these guys starting to work in that loose stuff in the second lane as that inside line is starting to slicken just a little bit. Guys are searching for the grip, and here comes that 115 losing another spot.
Contact between those two drivers. They collect it. Oh, Eric Tupper not going to be happy with that one. Contact with a 770 machine up there. That's Devin Butts.
Yeah, Devin Butts in that 770 just kind of doored him up the track. Said, well, I'm impatient. I want the spot. I want it right now. Is Tupper going to kind of give him the same medicine? He's just going to pull a slide job, but the momentum from the 770 is going to carry him and give him position still up top, but he should be able to lose the spot. Tupper will clear, but a crossover in the making.
Tupper got a little bit of sideways off and down into quarter number 3 now, as looks like Tupper going to be able to hold that second position. No challenge for the lead right now, but 4 cars under a blanket.
Yeah, Rolls has just taken this opportunity to set sail, and look at Brendan. These guys all are avoiding that slick on the bottom. Everyone kind of running that second lane up, so this track is starting to wear. Guys are starting to look for the grip.
These guys are moving around just a little bit, and I do believe that the sunlight does have something to do with that one. Corey, racing in the day can always be tough on the track surface and drying out pretty quickly. Of course, with these smaller motors, not too big of a deal, but Corey, look at the speed that Eric Tupper is showing.
Yes, he is. He actually was the fastest on the track by almost a 10th that last time by 2 laps in a row even. He has been almost a 10th up on Brett Rolls. We'll bring up the lap graphic for you at home. You can see right here, 1778 to a 1771. Let's see what it will be this time by. Almost 2 tenths faster. We're going to have a battle for this heat win.
They're going to come around this time by to take 2 laps to go at the flag stand. Eric Tupper going to almost be right to the back Nerf bar that time by. Look through him for turn number 1 here. Down out of corner number 2, just a little bit closer.
Yeah, he's trying to nail right on that inside berm. Kind of slid up a little bit too much off corner number 2, but look at the difference right there. He's digging for that moisture right at the bottom. He's getting that speed down there, but I think it's going to be a little bit too little, too late. White flag in the air.
White flag in the air this time by Eric Tupper, trying to hunt down your leader, Brett Rolls, hanging on out front right now, down through corner number 3 and 4. Your winner of heat race number 2 going to be Brett Rolls at the line. Second place goes to Eric Tupper. Devin Butts finishing 3rd and 4th in the final transfer spot goes to your points leader, Waylon McConnell.
Yes, Waylon McConnell will be automatically sent to the feature, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon. Are we going right to the B main?
Do believe.
Well, we'll find out together in about 4 to 7 seconds, depending on how long iRacing wants to take to get these guys off the track. Well, heat race number 2 has been confirmed, and
feature time, Corey.
Oh, no B main tonight. We're heading straight to the feature. See, we guessed wrong last week, and we had a B main, so we said there was going to be a B main, and we went straight to the feature. So, yeah, iRacing gods aren't a fan with us, but let's give it to you. Banter aside, let's give you the starting lineup for the feature event here at Knoxville. It's going to be Rick Gibson leading it down for the start of this race, with Brett Rolls to his outside. Rick Schneider in 3rd, Eric Tupper in 4th, Casey Pruitt in 5th, and Devin Butts in 6th. Frank Hartley Jr. going to roll off in the 7th spot with Waylon McConnell in 8th. In P9, you're going to find Cody Ricketts, then Roddy Klein in the 10th spot, Bruce Wiles in 11th, Keith Melheiser in 12th, Lyle Christensen and Michael Kerr 13th and 14th, Bradley Capion, Cody Knight, Michael Rodriguez, Benjamin Gonzalez, Cameron Hannigan, and Chris Miller, your top 20. Anna, well, that is the grid here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Synergy Dirt Racing A main on the night, presented by iRacing. iRacing is Trusted by real-world sanctions such as NASCAR, Dirt Car, World of Outlaws, IndyCar, IMSA, and much more. All these real-world sanctions trust iRacing. You should too. iRacing Motorsport Simulation is the most realistic motorsport sim on the market.
Most certainly is, as we come through turns 3 and 4 on 2 laps to go. You are on PTR TV. It is Saturday night and you're in the spawn. If you don't believe it, just watch. It is the Synergy Dirt Racing Series. We're crowning a champion. Round number 10, the season finale here at Knoxville. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. We have a lot of good stuff coming here on the channel and you don't want to miss it, but you especially don't want to miss what is right in front of us right here tonight. It's going to be 50 laps, even an extended feature here tonight at Knoxville, Brandon, and we're about to get it ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's season finale at the sprint car capital of the world. Get loud in chat. Here we go. These guys stacked up, doubled up, ready to go feature racing with the Synergy Dirt Racing Series. Your leader, Rick Gibson, going to be leading these guys to the green flag tonight. Going to be heading down at a quarter number 4. Pace car is in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's go time. Green flag is in the air.
20 drivers will sail off into corner number 1, and here they come. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead for a brief moment, wasting absolutely no time at all. But it looks like Rawls from the outside front row is going to take the lead off the whole shot.
Brett rolls, he clips the burn down on the inside. Now it's going to be 3 cars fighting for 1 position. Eric Tupper kind of got shoved out of line there. Battle for the lead now. Rick Gibson looking down low.
Gibson in that 38, the pole sitter, didn't even lead a lap. He's trying to redeem himself and get that back if he can. He's going to pull right up to that back nerf bar of the 17, but he just doesn't seem to get the exit that 6 is able to get as we go through the field and kind of see what's going on. Everyone's kind of getting themselves settled out. We do have a battle going on for about the 7th or so position. That's the 770 of Butts. That's the 25 of Hartley. 2-3 wide nearly through 3 and 4.
Oh, a little bit of contact back there for that 4th position. Frank Hartley Jr. going to be losing some spots. Got into the rear nerf bar of, I do believe that was the 3 machine of Rick Snyder up there. And, well, Snyder going to be able to keep that spot. Hartley losing some spots back there.
Yeah, Hartley going to go back to the 8th position, and I think that outside lane, and we have a car around on the back straight, or the front stretch rather. That's Cody Ricketts. That's going to bring out the caution flag here tonight. First one of the evening.
Yellow flag in the air for the first time of the night, and that was the 27 machine of Ricketts.
We'll go on instant replay, and
looks like a little bit of contact up there from the 23 machine, or maybe a little bit of a push there, maybe hit a burn or rut or something on the track and send him up the racing surface. No harm, no foul. 27 able to continue on in the race.
Yep, and first caution of the night gives you the opportunity to see the new caution ticker we have. I know Brandon was kind of poking at me to kind of do something like this, and I'm actually quite pleased with how it came out. Hope you guys like it at home. It shows you more of the action under caution, and yeah, there we go.
I think Corey should listen to Brandon more often.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how that works out.
Yeah.
So, again, an extended feature tonight, Brandon. Usually these half miles are about 35 laps. We are going to be going just a little bit longer. Anything that, well, fuel should be of no concern, I assume, correct?
No, fuel obviously no concern. These small engines don't use as much as a 410 would. One thing to note is the track surface and how much these guys may be trying to change their line a little bit. The most important part of the track to keep an eye of with the drying process would be the spot that the sun hits. Right now, turns 1 and 2 I would have no concern about, but 3 and 4 on the other hand, especially out of turn 4, these guys may be slipping and sliding a little bit come to the end of this feature.
Yeah, and I definitely expect that to be the case, and we are doubled up, stacked up, ready to go racing again for yet another, well, the first restart of the night. on lap number 8, and we saw that first time by how much of an advantage that the outside lane got, but now they're going to be going on the cue of Brett Rolls. So what kind of restart is he going to get? Is Gibson going to be able to hold on? He looks like he's going to slow roll it, and yeah, he definitely slow rolled that. Gibson wasn't ready for it. Look at the gap that Rolls is going to pull over Tupper.
Yeah, Eric Tupper manages to get around Gibson now for that second position. Eric Tupper diving it down into the bottom of the racetrack, doing the same thing he did in his heat race, trying to catch Brett Rolls a little bit sideways off of 4.
Yes, he is trying to do that. Right through the slick is Gibson, not working out for him. Snyder in the 3. Looks like he was going to look to the outside there as the lights do turn on here at Knoxville. Snyder looking high. He's going to kind of cut low on exit. He's going to try. He's going to back off for the time being. Try to make a move for 3rd.
Battle for the 3rd position. Rick Gibson out in front of that right now. Rick Snyder going to be right behind him in that green 3 machine, and well, kind of on the rear Nerf bar right now. Close calls off of corner number 4 that time by.
You can see the 3 is just very tentative. He just doesn't want to go too low. He knows how slick it is down there, but he wants to make the pass. He has the speed, so it's just kind of that fine line that you're just kind of sailing on. And well, he can't do too much, because if he makes a move incorrectly, Devin Boots in the 770 is right there in 5th to pounce on it.
Absolutely. So it's the Rick and Rick battle right now, Corey. The 38 and the 3 going at it for that 3rd position. And like you said, a couple of cars back there, specifically that 770 machine of Boots back there, ready to pounce if either one of these guys makes contact with one another. As caution flag.
Caution comes out. And it is
the 111 machine of Hennigan. Upside down, well, on his side down the front stretch after making contact with the wall, and what about a contact with somebody else there also? I believe that was the 52 machine.
Yeah, 111 into the wall, and yeah, it looks like the 52 just nowhere to go.
Pretty hefty contact there also.
And Brandon, you know I was waiting all season to do that Bruno Mars pun, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the only thing that you talked about after the broadcast every night.
And I never remembered to do it. I am just proud that I was able to. And I know, random interjection, just had to get that out there.
Corey is always proud of his puns.
Tis. So again, we are lap 16, 2nd caution of the night, and I'll tell you, Brandon, that restart we saw was rather interesting. It was almost, I don't want to say he didn't do anything wrong, but I've never really seen that kind of tactic. It was a really late roll, and the outside was just not ready for it at all, and really gave that 6 quite the advantage.
It was definitely a tactic that worked. It was within the rules just to get that crate motor, of course, a little crate motor in these cars, get it wound up just a little bit more, and well, it definitely worked on that restart.
And now it's somebody different to the outside. It's Eric Tupper. So will he be a little bit better off? We're actually going to go on board with Tupper. I kind of want to show how difficult it is to gauge a restart from the outside lane. You have such little visibility in these machines as the pace truck pulls in. Waiting, and you can just barely see the 6 starting to go. He's on the loud pedal, and I'll tell you, he did a pretty bang-up job. Didn't lose much time at all.
Not at all, as a matter of fact, staying right with him down the back straightaway now to going down into corner number 3, that 115 machine. Right on the rear Nerf bar of your leader, Brett Rolls in the 6.
Yeah, so the 6 is really going to have to watch out for himself, because that 115 is up there every single week going for these wins. Tonight is showing no different. So we'll see what's going to happen. These guys starting to move up the track. That slick on the bottom is just getting even more so and more so as the laps go by. Guys going higher and higher up the track. Looks like we are a single file for about the top 8 or so positions. Actually, we just had a pass go on. That's Devin Boots in the 770, and Rick Gibson in the 38 with a big dive to the bottom is the 770. Contact off of 4, around goes the 38.
Caution flag is in the air for the 3rd time tonight. Rick Gibson sitting high and dry backwards up on the top of the racetrack.
And that's we saw in practice, and I'm sorry, in the heat race, Brandon. That 770 is not afraid to be aggressive here tonight. See, he went to the bottom of the racetrack trying to get position under the 38. 38's well high up in the groove, and he just washed up the track, or maybe the 38 came down. I'll try to get an aerial look here and see if we can figure it out.
I believe he just hit that slick on the bottom there, Corey,
yeah, just
and
washed
set
up
off the
track.
racetrack. It's easy enough to do, absolutely, and obviously there was really no intent there, but once you hit that slick, the car just does its own thing.
Yeah, so just kind of a racing deal, but the slide job, by all means, is an aggressive move, and it is very difficult to master, especially when the bottom is slick. You don't have that control once you go through the slick, and wherever you end up is where you end up. Unfortunately for Gibson, it was into the side of his vehicle.
So it's going to be a single file restart this time by Corey. 1 lap to the green flag. This is the signal that they got at the stand that last time by. So these guys going to slowly work their way down the back straightaway and get ready to go green this time around.
Yes, indeed. So we will keep an eye out for that as a little bit early. I think usually it's like the 3rd caution. Well, maybe this is the 3rd caution, but it seems a little early in the night for the single file compared to what we've seen in the past. But we are getting ready for the restart, which is also going to be soon leading us into the halfway point in this race. As here we are getting ready. Green flag back in the air.
Green is out. Brett Rawls with another really good restart that time around. Eric Tupper going to be left chasing him down through corners number 3 and 4 this time by. The field kind of singled out. A little bit of a battle back there by Frank Hartley in the 6th position.
Yeah, that battle for 6th position right now, as you said, with 25, he's well up the racetrack right now.
That was a little bit of contact with Waylon McConnell, your points leader. That sent Hartley up the racetrack that time.
3 wide through 3 and 4. Hartley all the way up top, but the 77 of in 69, Melheiser and Pruitt were side by side underneath him. It does fizzle up back to 2x2 off of corner number 2.
Now single file once again through the field, and well, the closest cars right now, Corey, up towards the front are going to be your leader and your 2nd placeman, Eric Tupper, trying to gain some ground.
Yeah, up front, Tupper's still back by about 1/4 of a second. Rawls has just shown to be the fastest vehicle so far tonight, in what I can tell, and it's just really hard to. It seems really hard to make passes, Brandon. Everyone's just slowly running higher and higher up the track. That slick just seems even more of a death trap to drive through than we've seen at other tracks on the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just because of the high speeds here, Corey. And you see how much of the groove that has dried out since the beginning of the night. It's the high speeds here really, really make it easy for these cars to drift up once they hit that slick spot right in the center of the track.
And as you said, just with the high speed, it's just the slightest bit of yaw is going to cost you so much momentum. The slightest bit of yaw is just going to kick you out, because you are just on that perfect fine line trying to keep this thing as straight as possible. So you can see them already going up into the loose stuff, 3-4 lanes up. I don't know if I didn't expect that. I'm not sure if you did, but here we go into 1 and 2. And it looks like 115 maybe setting him up for a little bit of a crossover. Couldn't quite get it on exit.
Eric Tupper right on the rear Nerf bar. Rolls now in that 6 machine, looking up high, looking for the traction. And now Rolls going to shut the door on him that time by. Now heading down through corners 1 and 2. Again, right on that rear Nerf bar, not giving any room.
No, he's not, and he doesn't necessarily have to. All he needs to do is just you know, just don't cut him off, don't shut the door on him, don't do anything dirty, just kind of block his line, and that's what he's doing. You go high, I'm going to go high, you go low. Well, good luck to you. I'm not going down there. It seems to pretty much be what the trend is at this point. So we'll let that battle kind of do its thing and try to go throughout the field, see what else we can find. And as we said, the leaders are pretty much setting the pace. Everyone is just kind of running 2-3 lanes up, single file around this place. Don't really see too many active battles at the moment.
Not at the moment, and well, next time by, it's going to be 15 laps to go on the feature here. 50-lap feature, Corey, as I say that, caution flag on the speedway.
Yeah, it looks like it's Roddy Klein in the 12 off of corner number 4.
Up on his side, all by himself, Corey.
Yeah, he just got a little bit too high into the fence, and oh, Tony Hawk, be jealous. That was a pretty good wall ride.
I would say so. Landed back on all 4 wheels, and
oh, nearly right into traffic there, but did not make any contact with anybody as we do start the pacing process here at Knoxville. It's going to set up what'll probably be about a 11 to 12 lap shootout, and in all honesty, I'm not sure what else can change, Brandon. Maybe on this opening start we will see drivers kind of have a little bit more confidence to the bottom, while it'll be a little bit more pack oriented with everyone bunched up together. But if you're Tupper, I mean, what else can you really do besides a slide job and pray?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing here, is patience is key to the end of this event, Corey. You really don't want to try to pull any moves until, well, about 3 laps to go is what I'd say is go time here, because you don't want to do anything to risk yourself to not finish the race any earlier.
Exactly. To finish first, you must first finish, as I don't know who said it, but someone said it at one point or another. If I made
that guy.
Yeah, that guy. It was a really good saying. I'd love to take credit for it, but you know, I'm not intelligent enough for that. But the lights are out on the pace truck. We are singling up towards the wall here, getting ready for another restart with what will be 12 laps to go.
So, these guys rolling it down in the back straightaway at pace speeds at what will be, once these guys get on the green right here, probably speeds of about 115 miles an hour going down into corner number 3, which is really, really fast for these 360 cars. Very high-speed racetrack. Pace car is in. Brett Rolls ready to get on the throttle this time by green. Flag is in the air.
And the flash bulb's off in the grandstands as we head off into corner number 1. Tupper has a Rolls has a humongous lead. Tupper may be in jeopardy of losing that second spot. Ran a little bit too high through 1 and 2. That brought Schneider right to his rear. And right behind that, that's Butts going a little bit high. Got too high, got loose off before, lost the time he had gained.
Rick Snyder going to be right on the rear Nerf bar of Eric Tupper. Now watch out, 115. Here comes the 3. And as I say that, he's going to lose a little bit of ground. Eric Tupper showing some really good speed once again, trying to reel the leader back in.
Yes, he's now about a half a second back, though, which is kind of a little bit farther back than he may want to be. Well, of course, it is farther back than he wants to be, but I don't know if he's going to be able to gain it back. He's going to try to go through the slick and get right back to his bumper that way, but that didn't really work for him, or did it? Actually, he was faster at the line, so maybe there's some merit in that move he just did.
Maybe, just maybe, Eric Tupper trying to find some sort of speed. Now going to shoot down low and back up into the slick. I think he's just trying to keep his momentum, keep that wheel speed up, Corey, and well, it paid off for him again that time by, so it seemed. Lost a little bit of ground down through corners number 1 and 2 that time by, though.
Didn't try it this time by, though. I will say the last 2 laps he has been faster. 1 lap by a tenth, second lap by half a tenth. This time he ran in the same tire tracks as Rolls, and the lap time was actually a tenth and a half slower. So, but Rolls looks like he got a little bit loose off a 2. That'll definitely hurt his causes a little bit, but it does look like that 115's a little bit timid. Doesn't want to go back down there to the bottom of the racetrack.
No, really does not want to go back down there. And as we say that, Corey, there he goes, trying to drift it back up. But I think it's just so touchy down there. It's really hard to keep the car under control. But
oh, here he goes. Here he goes.
He's going to try it again. Drifts up high. They take 5 to go at the stand this time by.
Now, what does the stopwatch say? I'm curious. The stopwatch says do it. That's what he needs to do. The stopwatch is better when he runs that line. Well, it doesn't seem to work through 1 and 2. I think he lost everything he gained there. Now he's going to have to wind it up at the top of the track, but I think at this point that failed attempt through 1 and 2 may have just cost any chance he had. Now he's about 3/4 of a second back.
Yeah, I think that was all lost right there. Brett Rolls looking pretty good in the hot seat right now out front of this feature, and these guys coming around 3 laps to go this time by.
3 laps to go indeed, as we will show Brett Rolls leading by about 7/10 of a second. We do have a battle going on for about the 6th, 7th position. Hartley around the top of the racetrack, passing Keith Melheiser. That is for 7th. Rick Gibson trying to gain some spots back after what had happened to him in that contact on the caution flag. As we're coming to 2 laps to go, it's about 3/4 of a second up front. Still watching this battle just for the time being.
Coming around this time by Brett Rolls, going to be your leader coming down at a corner number 4. White flag is in the air. He's been dominating all night, ladies and gentlemen, from the starts and the restarts here all night. Been able to just get that extra jump on the fields, and as he makes his way down through corners 3 and 4, the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville, he will be victorious. Brett Rolls in victory lane.
And Brett Rolls, and coming home with a 5th place finish. Unofficial results, your season champion in the Synergy Dirt Racing Series is going to be Waylon McConnell with an unofficial 5th place finish here tonight. So again, congratulations to the winner, Brett Rolls, who just dominated this race, leading every single lap, getting the whole shot off the green flag, getting the lead from that outside lane, and then taking it and just, as he said, never relinquishing the lead once in tonight's activity. So as we will allow Rolls to do his thing and kind of celebrate his victory, let's give you the final results here tonight from Knoxville. As we just said, leading 50 laps. Perfect. He threw a perfect game here tonight. Brett Rolls leading them all. Wins the race. Eric Tupper with the 2nd. Devin Butts in 3rd. Rick Schneider in 4th. Waylon McConnell, who is your unofficial champion, in the 5th spot. Frank Hartley Jr. in 6th. Keith Melheiser, Rick Gibson, Casey Pruitt, and Michael Rodriguez, your top 10. And then the second half of your field here tonight, Bruce Wiles in 11th. Benjamin Gonzalez in 12th. Cody Ricketts in 13th. Roddy Klein in 14th, Lyle Christensen in 15th, and then rounding out your field, guys off of the lead lap and or out of the race, Cody McKnight, Bradley Capion, Cameron Hannigan, Michael Kerr, and Chris Miller never took the grid here tonight. So this is the time that we would typically start the interview process, and don't quite have anybody in the realm of the booth here at the moment. So we are going to kind of give these guys a second to hopefully find their way to PTR TV's booth and kind of talk to us about how their race went, Brandon. But again, we saw a pretty good race here at the Knoxville Raceway. We saw a pretty good season, and oh, here these guys are. They are starting to file on in, and I think Brandon may have 3rd place of Devin Butts.
Yeah, Devin, you come home with the 3rd place finish tonight, man. How do you feel? Devin, you got a copy.
All right, well, we will see what happened to Devin, and we'll
come back to him.
All right, so I think we do have Eric Tupper, and I can talk to him as tonight's 2nd place finisher. All right, Eric, it was a solid finish here tonight, man. A second place here at Knoxville, and it looked like you, at the end of the race, you kind of found something on that low line in 3 and 4, and we saw you try it in 1 and 2, and it really cost you, but I know how hard it was here to pass, but you come home with that second, so just to kind of wrap up your evening for us.
Yeah, I put way too much fuel in it. I was trying to play it safe just to make it to the end of the race because I didn't plan for 50 laps. I didn't really, practice too much before the race. I just had a setup from another race that I'd ran and threw that in. Couldn't remember how much fuel it was for that race or whatever, but between Brett and I, we ran about 5 gallons of difference in fuel, and that was pretty much the take on it because we run a very similar setup. But yeah, diving in 3 and 4 seemed like it worked, and I wanted to try it in 1 and 2 to really try to cut the time, but it just wasn't working there. And Brett had a hot rod. He did he did a real good job tonight. Congrats to him.
All right, so he definitely did. He got that, just had that line working for him, and you were second in the points. It was going to take a pretty significant failure, if you will, from McConnell to have you overtake for the championship, and he came home in 5th. But it's a solid second place for you unofficially in the point standing. So how do you feel about that ending the season? And I don't know the exact future of the league and where you guys sit, but do you feel like you could take it into hopefully into a championship in the next iteration of the league?
I'm hoping to. I'd like to come back and race. I've had fun here this season. I know I did miss a couple races, I think maybe one, which put me kind of out of contention with Waylon. He was here every week, and if you want to win a championship, you got to be here every week and run strong and be up front to contend with these guys.
Yeah, most certainly that is the case, and I'm sure in the future of the league, I think we will be covering it in some regard, so hopefully we'll be able to see if you are able to compete every week and go for that championship. But I'm sure you have some shout-outs you want to give for your second place in the race and in the championship.
I gotta thank Synergy for putting this series on this season. PTR TV for broadcasting. You guys always do a wonderful job. My Team Har, they get on me and they make me the driver I am because they always push me, and that brotherly camaraderie that we have over there is, to me, I don't think it's second to none anywhere else. It's just, but I'm biased. That's my team. So them guys are great. Matt Hall for doing the paint on my 305. Just everybody that's involved with Team R, they're great.
All right, 10-4, brother. And congrats again on the finish in the race and in the championship, and maybe we'll be catching you in the future.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
All right, so I think
I have been able to catch back up with Devin, Corey, and well, Devin, you come home with a 3rd place finish tonight, man. How do you feel?
It feels good. Feels real good, as anyone would expect.
Well, you really raced a good race all night. You kept yourself consistent. What was it like tonight around the sprint car capital of the world?
Well, it was just fantastic, and I just got to thank everyone for putting on this league. It was actually my first ever iRacing league. I was able to join in, and I was able to make every single night work. And it's really fun to see one night. I think from the first night coming from, I think, like a 15th place finish, and then starting to break into the top 10, and then the top 5 just slowly, week to week, felt really good. Finally get a top 3 here and talk to you guys.
Yeah, it was a really good race for you tonight. Obviously, a podium finish is always really good, especially with the amount of competition that Synergy does have. Tell us a little bit more about your race tonight, man.
Yeah, I like I said, just breaking in top 10 and then the top 5 week by week, getting stronger, faster. I really wanted it tonight, and like you guys said on the broadcast, I was listening while I was racing, and I was pretty aggressive tonight. I feel kind of bad for getting into the car there. I run on the inside pretty hard, and I think we both held our line pretty well. It's just like you said, I got a little slick on the exit of turn 4 there, and our cars kind of came into each other. But other than that, it was a pretty clean race, and it was just really fun to fly through the pack with, I think I started 6th, and just make it one pass at a time. It's hard to pass on that track, for sure, up on the high side.
Yeah, Knoxville tends to be a very tough racetrack with very high speeds, but man, is there anyone that you'd like to thank, give a shout out to here tonight?
Well, I just want to give a shout out to everyone that put on this league again, and then obviously got a shout out to my wife for letting me do this in the first place. It is fantastic that I'm able to hop on and have my time to race.
Well, that is awesome, and Devin, congrats on your third place finish here tonight.
Yeah, thanks guys, appreciate it.
So, I do believe Corey has caught up with your winner of the night, Brett Rolls.
All right, Brett, yeah, you pitched a perfect game here tonight. You led all 50 laps here. You started second. You got that good run on the outside to start the race and just never really looked back. So, obviously, nice to lead all 50 laps, but just talk about how it was, and was there any kind of point where you had any threat or concern about what was going on behind you?
Oh yeah, I mean my older brother and my teammate Eric Tupper, he's always fast no matter where we go or what we're in, and I noticed he definitely had a faster car over the long stretch there, but towards the end of the race I noticed he started to fall back a little bit more. I don't know if the track just got a little bit slick or if his setup went away. I know I had about 5 gallons of fuel less than he did, so he claims that played a big factor in it, but I don't know how that is, because he was knocking on my bumper there for quite a little bit of time and then fell back. So, you know, just up for brothers' debate at that point.
Yeah, they looked like he had something digging there on the inside in 3 and 4, and it was really working. I thought he was actually going to be able to get to you, but he tried it in 1 and 2. It did not work at all. But you guys, you slowly started working up the track. Seemed like the top obviously just kind of became just invincible. You couldn't really do anything with it, but you come home this season, man, with a, I think I'm getting the unofficial point standings right here, with a 3rd place, 2 points behind Eric in this championship standing. So overall, how do you wrap up your entire season here in Synergy?
Pretty good. Had the win at Eldora. Had a couple of more races that I should have won, but gave away due to setup changes that I didn't really need to make. Definitely feel we could have gave a stronger shot at the points championship run if work schedules didn't, you know, conflict with race schedules and, you know, things like that. But, you know, overall, pretty good experience, you know, for the first season. I'm looking forward to the next season here with these guys. Other than that, just, you know, nothing but positive for me finishing 3rd with missing a couple of weeks due to work and stuff like that. But, yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, man, always the real world sometimes affects our sim racing endeavors, but you recovered pretty well for the podium on the championship, the win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
I gotta give a shout out to my team owner Ron Piles and my team Har Motorsports. If you guys get a chance, come check us out. We currently have a $2 entry fee modified UMP series going on Monday nights. Had some really good racing for the first week at Lanier. You guys can find us on iRacing and at harmotorsports.com. Other than that, gotta thank my graphics designer from Har. His name's Matt Hall. He does an amazing job. I think this is an amazing sprint car in my opinion. The fiance for letting me get on and, you know, come race with the boys. We just had a baby about a week ago, so, you know, pretty shocked that, you know, she's letting me get away with so much racing lately. And you guys for, you know, putting on a heck of a broadcast every week and, you know, coming back every week to showcase what we can do over here.
All right, thanks for those kind words. Congratulations to you and your family, by the way. I know all about that kind of life and how difficult it is, so your wife is definitely a trooper for letting you do this. So, again, congrats on all of that. Congrats on the win, and we'll be talking to you soon, or sometime in the future, I'm sure.
Thank you. Have a good one.
And now the final interview is your season champion, as I have been officially confirmed, Waylon McConnell, and Brandon has caught up with him.
We are down here in victory lane now. Waylon, you're the season 1 champion. How you feeling?
Pretty good, man.
Tell us all about your season. You know, obviously you ended up finishing with a top 5 here tonight, but you're the season champion, man. I mean, you gotta be excited.
Oh yeah, for sure. I really would have liked to get a win this season. I can't believe I did it without one, but
You know, they say just being consistent is key in something like this, and I agree 100%. You were consistent all season long. We always saw you racing up within the top 5, and you did a really awesome job this season to walk away with the championship. You know, what were some of the ups and downs that you had this season?
Oh, it's just a learning curve, you know, the setups, trying to get some of these guys come in and they're fast. It's definitely a learning curve.
Fast indeed, man. You know, I don't think you had any DNFs on the season, if I remember correctly. Obviously, we weren't here for the first week that you guys were racing, but I assume pretty much mostly top 5s all the way across the board, and that's what got it done for you this season. So, Waylon, is there anyone that you'd like to thank and shout out to for an awesome, awesome season for you?
Yeah, I'd like to start out with the rest of the Synergy admins, Frank, Mike, Rick, and Roddy. And despite a few hiccups, it's been great getting this series up and going with them. And I'd also like to thank the rest of the guys who have showed up week in and week out. And there's been a lot of fast guys, a lot of clean racers in there. It's been a real blast. And then last but not least, you guys for sure. The broadcasts have been awesome.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Waylon. Ladies and gentlemen, your Synergy Dirt Racing Series Season 1 champion, Waylon McConnell.
All right, so that is your post-race show, your top 3 finishes, and your season champion in Waylon McConnell. So as we wrap up coverage here tonight, a couple shout-outs we want to give on the PTR TV side of things. Of course, want to thank Air Movement and Fabrication, both of Brandon's companies, Krutz Custom Graphics and Fame Apparel, for they've done for the channel in its endeavors. And want to thank iRacing, of course, for the simulation. You can check out iRacing if you are not a member at iRacing.com, and of course check out the iRacing YouTube channel, the iRacing Esports Network, where a lot of top quality high-tier sim racing broadcasts occur, and PTR TV will be featured on there at some point in the near future, I am sure. So again, tonight was the Synergy Dirt Racing Series. Any final words, Brandon?
No, I think you about covered it. Ladies and gentlemen, what an awesome season we had with the Synergy Dirt Racing Series. We hope to be back with these guys soon. We have some cool announcements for the future, so definitely stay tuned. We hope you enjoyed our new graphics package that we're offering. Corey always working hard on those, and of course, channel wouldn't be here without all of our PTR TV staff.
Most certainly, thanks to everyone involved. Thanks to Synergy. Thanks to the fans. And well, it's Corey and Brandon and Joe Chris behind the scenes tonight helping out, all of us signing out. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night, everybody. We will catch you next time.